This program contains material of a disturbing nature. Viewer discretion is advised. A few hours later, Gina confronts Kelly.
I was concerned about Kelly. A mother's job is to protect her child. So I would rather err on the side of safety versus to overlook something. So I decided it was a good idea to take her to the doctor.
But I was so convinced I was just fine. I just did not see the point personally.
Still, Kelly begrudgingly agrees to visit the doctor.
At the pediatrician's office, they did all the normal things, took my blood pressure, took my temperature, asked how I was feeling. I just told her I was really tired.
The pediatrician finds that Kelly has a low-grade fever.
She diagnosed me with jet lag.
And we said, okay. I knew it was a long trip, so I decided maybe I would just give her a chance to catch up on her rest.
Gina and Kelly go back home. And later that night, Kelly is lying in bed.
When I went to sleep, I had just the most vivid, scary dream. I remember lots of blue and shadowy figures, and then just a lot of action and commotion. And at the very end, this voice said to me, "This happens to everybody before the next step. Don't tell anybody about it. Don't tell anybody about it.
Don't tell anybody about this.
Or else there will be consequences." It was so creepy. But the voice told me not to talk about it. And so I didn't say anything.
The next night, the nightmare recurs.
This night I had another very scary dream. That same intimidating voice told me again, "Do not talk about these dreams. Don't tell anybody about it. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody about this."
That voice told me again, "You're getting ready for the next step." I was put in a series of obstacles and challenges. I was walking in my home and did not know where I was going. That was very scary.
The next morning, Kelly's nightmares become a reality.
My environment was completely distorted. I've been living in this house for the majority of my life, and I walked into every single wall.
On that day, Kelly came downstairs to the kitchen. I noticed that she was just kind of staggering. She was almost like hallucinating. I was very concerned. That was the turning point.
The family rushes Kelly to the ER.
They fully examined her from head to toe. Under the fluorescent light, the emergency doctor could tell that she was very jaundiced.
Jaundice is a yellowing of the skin and eyes that often occurs when there's a problem with the liver. It can be a sign of liver disease, blood disease, or infection.
I didn't know what it could be at that point, but I was frightened.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Sunil Sood takes over Kelly's case.
When we entered the room, we observed that Kelly was in what we would call a delirium. That's an alarming symptom. Whatever she had was now rapidly evolving.
Dr. Sood orders numerous blood tests.
Based on the blood tests, Kelly had malaria.
We were all shocked.
Oh my God. Now what?
Kelly is infected with a parasite called Plasmodium falciparum. Inside Kelly's body, the Plasmodium parasites invade the red blood cells. There, the parasites multiply aggressively until the cell bursts, depriving her organs of oxygen. As the Plasmodium parasites spread across her body, they lead to her fever, jaundice, and hallucinations.
There are all these things in her body that were just taking over.
I was scared to death.
Malaria is the deadliest parasitic disease on the planet. Globally, around 580,000 people die each year from the condition. In the liver, each single Plasmodium parasite can multiply 10,000 times. From there, the Plasmodium parasites burst into the bloodstream where they attack the red blood cells en masse. Malaria infections can result in permanent brain damage and death.
Plasmodium falciparum malaria is the most dangerous type of malaria that a human can get.
It actually felt like the hospital walls were closing in on me. I just felt like I was suffocating.
But anti-malarial medication does not rid her of the infection. So Dr. Sood takes a drastic approach.
An exchange transfusion was the best way to rapidly clear the parasite from the blood.
They were taking almost 3/4 of her blood out of her body. It was brown and thick.
Well, at that point, I was in God's hands.
For the next 24 hours, Kelly fights for her life.
Kelly reaches out and touches my hand and says, "Hey, Dad, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh, my God." I said, "Oh, my God." It was a miracle. Just like that.
He started crying, and then I think that was the moment when I realized like, something really bad had happened, and I hadn't quite grasped. So yeah.
The Plasmodium parasite cycles between two hosts, a human and a female mosquito. When infected mosquitoes take blood meals from humans, they inject the human hosts with Plasmodium parasites, and the humans become infected. Malaria is endemic in most countries in tropical regions across the world. It's particularly prevalent in Africa.
Kelly did take anti-malarial medications while she was abroad, but she forgot one important thing.
When I was in Ghana, I went hiking up in the mountains, and I had forgotten my bug spray.
Even if you take your preventive medication regularly, there is still a small chance that you could get the infection.
And so that turned out to be a potentially fatal mistake.